Welcome to The John, your daily sports dump, where we plunge into the sports world, whether it's breaking news, game recaps, or the hottest takes. We are the sports pipeline for you. So while you're taking care of business, let me flush out the details and fill you in on what's happening. This is The John, your daily sports dump. So, grab your playbook, your game day snacks, and maybe even some extra TP, because this episode is coming at you hot. I'm John, your host, and today we're diving headfirst into the excitement of the NFL divisional round, breaking down key matchups and predicting who's punching their ticket to the conference championship games. After we flush out the action on the field, we'll be taking a moment to honor a broadcasting legend who truly left his mark on the sports world. We've got 4 huge matchups to preview, so let's dive right in. Before we dive into the NFL playoff action, let's talk about what makes this time of year so special. It's like having a case of the squirts. High stakes, intense pressure, and the occasional need for an audible. The divisional round is here, and it's time when teams flush out their weaknesses and fight for championship glory. Time to see who's staying in the running and who's getting flushed. Let's kick things off with the Rams taking on the Eagles. Last time these two met, the Eagles ran all over the Rams. Saquon exploded for 255 yards and over 300 total yards in the game. But the Rams defense has been stepping up big time, especially after their performance against the Vikings where they absolutely shut things down. This game could come down to Jalen Hurts and his arm. When the Eagles win, his passing stats aren't exactly dazzling. In some games that I've picked, he's thrown for 131, 108, and 118 yards. That's because the Eagles' offense lives and dies with Saquon. If the Rams can bottle him up like they did with Minnesota, I think they can walk away with the win. Hurts' inability to stretch the field with his passing could really hurt Philly. I think ultimately that Saquon is better than Derrick Henry, and I feel like that he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. I think so many people just view Derrick Henry as this other being, other world human, which he is. He's insane, but I really think that Saquon needs to get his love because I really don't. I mean, we saw this that I think Jalen Hurts needs a good running back. Like when they made it to the Super Bowl, Miles Sanders had a career year, and then now they're being talked about as Super Bowl favorites, and they have Saquon. So he always needs a running back to have a great season, or I don't think he succeeds. I think he needs running backs to make him great, and that's why I don't really believe in Jalen Hurts. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Next up, we've got the Commanders and the Lions. This is where the Lions could end the feel-good story of Washington. Detroit's offense is nothing short of elite. They're second in total yards, second in passing, sixth in rushing, first in scoring, and third in red zone efficiency. That's pure dominance. On the defensive side, it's not much different. They rank 5th in rushing offense, which is key because Washington loves to pound the rock and has one of the most elusive quarterbacks in the game. The Lions also rank 7th in scoring defense. Washington does have a strong offense, 7th in total yards, 3rd in rushing, and 5th in scoring. But the problem is here, they're going to have to play keep up. Detroit is too good at putting points on the board nearly every time they touch the ball. I think the Lions' offense is just too explosive, and they'll end Washington's playoff run. Now, let's talk about the Texans and the Chiefs. This game is being slept on, but I think it's going to be closer than people expect. The Texans' defense is legit. They're 6th in yards allowed, 6th in passing defense, and 4th in the league in sacks. They're led by Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. These guys will make Mahomes' life miserable in the backfield. That said, it's hard to bet against Mahomes. Even though he hasn't had a great year statistically for him, he's still Patrick Mahomes and makes winning plays. Especially with the Chiefs having home field advantage and also Andy Reid, who is 10-3 in the divisional round. And that experience matters when DeMeco Ryans is his 2nd or 3rd playoff game. He's not experienced. He doesn't know how to make these big decisions like Andy Reid will. The Texans have been decimated by injuries on the offense. So if they can somehow score 17 points, they might have a shot. But ultimately, I've got the Chiefs winning a nail-biter. I expect Mahomes to find a way to get the win. Finally, we've got the Bills and the Ravens, a matchup that feels like a heavyweight fight. The Ravens' offense is an absolute machine. They're first in total offense with 425 yards per game, 7th in passing, and 1st in rushing with 187 yards per game. Derrick Henry is key here, and I expect him to have a huge game, rushing for over 150 yards. On the other side, the Bills have the tools to stay competitive. They're second in scoring offense, second in red zone efficiency, and they have the best turnover differential in the league with plus 24. That's a huge advantage considering the Ravens only have a plus 8 turnover differential. While I think Lamar might struggle, I think Derrick Henry's dominance on the ground will be a deciding factor. I'm taking the Ravens in this one, but it's going to be a battle. I think Lamar Jackson, and I have the stats here pulled up to prove that he is not a playoff quarterback. I think he folds again under pressure. I mean, we've seen wild card. He wins every wild card game that he's in, but after that he just plummets. And I have the stats right here. In 7 games played in the playoffs, he has 8 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. And to put that in perspective, this year he had 41 passing touchdowns to 4 interceptions. I think the moment gets to him, and I think Derrick Henry, I mean, we saw with the 2019 Titans, he brought them all the way to the AFC Championship. I think he's going to will this team to the AFC Championship again, because Lamar doesn't do playoff. He doesn't play in the playoffs. He's there, but he doesn't show up. You know, he's a bystander, and Derrick Henry is the exact opposite. Derrick Henry shows up in the playoffs. I think Derrick Henry's going to show up huge in this game, and I think the only way Buffalo stays in this game is, like I said, their turnovers. They don't turn the ball over. If they can force the Ravens to make turnovers and make dumb decisions, I think they have a shot. But other than that, I think ultimately Derrick Henry's going to do Derrick Henry things and show them that Dallas should have signed him, because this dude is we know this. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think Lamar's going to fold again, and I think Derrick Henry's going to bring them. And honestly, I can see them. I think the winner of this game can beat the Chiefs. I really do. I think with how dominant Baltimore is and how good the Bills are, whoever wins this game, I think, is going to the Super Bowl. So let me know if you guys think that is a fair take, that whoever wins this Bills-Ravens game is going to the Super Bowl. If not, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Regardless of the outcome of this game, this could get a little messy, like trying to flush a whole roll of toilet paper down at once. It's going to take more than just one guy to make it work, just like it takes more than one person to fix a clogged drain. Now, let's switch up gears and pay tribute to a legend who's been clearing up the airways for years, Bob Uecker. On January 16th, we lost a true icon in the sports broadcasting world. Known fondly as Mr. Baseball, Uecker's incredible career spanned decades, leaving a legacy of humor, heart, and love for the game that will never be forgotten. Starting as a major league catcher, Bob transitioned to the broadcast booth, found a permanent home. For over 50 years, he was the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, but his impact went beyond one team. He was a national treasure in the baseball world. Who can forget his self-deprecating humor like gems, "I led the league in," "Go get 'em," "Next time." It was a mix of humility and humor that made Bob so special. Of course, his role in one of the greatest sports movies of all time, Major League, brought us even more unforgettable moments, like his hilarious call, "Just a bit outside." Bob's ability to make us laugh, whether on air or on the big screen, was unmatched. Today we celebrate a life lived for baseball and laughter. Bob Uecker wasn't just a broadcaster. He was a voice of summer, a friend to every fan, and proof sports are about joy as much as competition. Rest easy, Mr. Baseball. You've earned your spot in the Hall of Hearts forever. Your legacy lives on through every laugh and every story you shared with us. Thanks for tuning in on today's episode of John, Sports Dump. We've broken down the divisional playoffs under a true broadcasting legend and kept it fresh with a little humor along the way. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and join us next time. Keep your game face on and stay regular. This is the John signing off.